making a cape for your little hero, you'll need a variety of supplies. Some templates, at least 2 yards of fabric, and some sewing materials.
When you purchase fabric for your cape, you'll want to make sure you check how wide it is. If you want an accurate measure for how long you need to make your cape, you can measure from the nape of the child's neck to their mid-calf or ankle, depending on how long you'd like to make it. Most children will fall somewhere between 30 and 40 inches. I generally like to use the full width of whatever fabric I'm given in order to make the longest cape possible. When I begin making a cape, the first thing I do is take the corner of my fabric and bring it up and across, matching my edges. After folding your fabric, you'll want to use your straight edge here and cut along. The next step is to take your far corners and fold them in. Again, matching your line. Once you have them lined up, you'll create a triangle of leftover fabric at the bottom of the cape. This is extra, and again, you'll cut along that bottom line that you just made. You'll do this once again, bringing the shorter side of your fabric to the other edge, being sure to line up your edges, and then trimming off the small portion of extra at the bottom so that all the layers of your fabric line up nicely. To create the neckline for your child's cape, you'll need a t-shirt in your child's size, a piece of chalk, as well as the cut piece of fabric and a pair of scissors. To make the neckline on your child's cape, you'll need to place the t-shirt along the folded edge of the fabric. You'll want to make sure that the edge neckline is at least 2 inches down and 2 inches in. Simply trace around the curve of the neckline. Remove your t-shirt and extend that line out towards the corner of your fabric, rounding the curve. This will make the nice tab where you'll later attach Velcro. Once you have your neckline drawn, you'll be ready to cut it out. Keep your fabric folded and cut around your chalked line. Being sure to cut through both layers of fabric. Once you have your first cape piece made, lay it out on top of your fabric. Sometimes I use cheaper fabric for the inside, other times I like to use the same fabric. I lay my right sides together and I cut around the edge. I use the first cape piece like a pattern for the second cape piece. One will eventually become your cape front, the other your cape back.
Cut out shapes and sizes you like. Lay your template on top of your fabric and your Wonder Under. Cut it out. Then use a hot iron to fuse your fabric to the Wonder Under paper. Pin your template onto the fabric you fused the paper to. Then use your scissors to cut around the edges of your template. Pull off the back side of your Wonder Under paper. And lay your shape onto any other shape you would like as part of your pattern. Cover it with a wet cloth and steam to to press the Wonder Under paper and fuse it together. Straight stitch around the edge of the top fabric piece. Follow this up by zigzagging around the top edge of the same fabric piece.
Point. You position your logo in the center upper portion of the cape where you want it located and use pins to fasten it. Be sure you're working with the front side of your material. Now that I have my logo pinned, I'm ready to begin stitching around the edge. I like to start with a straight stitch. Once I straight stitch around my logo, I like to follow it up with a zigzag right around the edges. Once you've finished stitching your logo, you'll be able to add the back side of your cape. Now you're ready to pin your cape front to your cape back. You'll need to lay your cape front right side up. You'll know it's right side because you should be looking at your logo. And then take your cape back and lay that right side face down directly on top. Once you have your fabric lined up, then you're ready to pin. Go around each of the edges, pinning to keep your two pieces, your cape front and your cape back, together. Once you have your whole cape pinned, you're ready to take it back to the sewing machine. Back at my sewing machine, I'm going to stitch around the cape, leaving a small opening to turn it when finished. I'll use about a 1/2 inch seam allowance and go all the way around the edges. After you've completed sewing, you'll take your hole and push your fabric back through, turning your cape right side out. You'll work your way around the fabric, top stitching along the edge seam. Finally, you'll attach the loop and hook Velcro closure to the tabs of your cape.